Good morning, boys. Right, we're up to slide 24 on the market failure file. Yesterday we looked at how government could use taxes or rules and regulations as a way to limit the production and consumption of demerit goods such as cigarettes, alcohol and so on. And we saw how they could be quite effective at achieving those aims. Today, from slides 24 onwards, you're going to read about how government can also use education and advertising to achieve their aims. So they're a bit different here. There's no laws or taxes in place. It really is just trying to get people to change their behaviour by providing them with the right kind of information. Examples that you might be familiar with would be 5 plus a day fruit and vegetable campaigns, which encourage us to eat more healthily in order to avoid the external costs that come with eating a bad diet. And those campaigns can be quite effective. They do gradually change people's behaviour, but they can take quite a long time to be effective. Here in this graph we can see how a campaign promoting healthy food would work to increase the demand for that healthy food. So starting from an original equilibrium point here, the advertising campaign increases demand, which leads to a higher quantity of that healthy food being produced and consumed. Therefore, the positive externalities of a healthy diet increase and the negative externalities of an unhealthy diet would decrease as a result. Of course, it's not always going to be effective. Some people will not see the advertising or the education campaign, or they'll see it and they'll ignore it. It can be difficult to change people's behaviour, particularly if it's something that they've done as a habit for a long time. If they've been eating unhealthy food, for example, for a long time, they're probably not just going to change overnight because they see a few ads on TV telling them to eat more apples and carrots. Now with merit goods that have positive externalities, as well as working on demand, the government can use subsidies to try and boost the supply of the product, as we can see over here. A subsidy makes it easier for suppliers to supply that product to the market, or they're able to more easily make a profit because the government is effectively helping them out. Now, the vertical distance between the two supply curves here is the per unit value of that subsidy. So for every unit that the supplier sells at, say, this price P2, they get a subsidy to the value of the vertical distance between the two lines. Is it effective? Well, when we look at the graph, we can see that yes, it is effective, because we've managed to lower the market price for that product that we want people to consume more of, which has led to an increase in demand for the product. The equilibrium quantity that's consumed is now higher than it was. So the subsidy has achieved its aim. However, that doesn't come at no cost. As always, with decisions, there's an opportunity cost. Now, the value of that subsidy would be the quantity Q2, the new equilibrium quantity, multiplied by the per unit value of that subsidy. And that could be a considerable amount. And that amount of government spending that they spend on the subsidy could be used on some other area to improve some of the other problems within society or the economy. So the government has to make a decision as to what it thinks is the best use of those limited resources. Okay, so you'll need to get the notes right through to the end, actually, fellas. We're pretty much at the end of the market failure topic. There's a couple of other points in the notes here, but I'll leave you to read through on your own. Just finally on slide 29 here, it uses the Auckland housing market as an example of market failure. This is not something with externalities necessarily, but rather it's just a case where the market is failing because it's not producing enough houses at a price that people can afford. We have a shortage of affordable housing, and there's a number of reasons for that. So have a read through and then go on with the rest of today's exercises. Thanks, boys.